Hey, it's Adam, and in this video, we are going to talk about why there is no such thing as bad meditation. And this information in this video is going to be super critical for you to understand if you want to make any progress in your meditation practice. This idea that some meditation is good and sometimes meditation is bad, this whole paradigm has to fly out the window. And I'm going to go into some concrete examples of how you judging your own meditation as good or bad is taking away from all of your meditation progress. So I'd like to start with a story about this meditation teacher that I had a couple years ago. I was on a meditation retreat with him and I was working really hard. I was meditating 10, 12 hours every single day. And we were practicing this type of meditation called Vipassana meditation. So this meditation is basically a very mindful presence where you just practice labeling the present moment with these labels. So you hear something while you're meditating, you label hearing. Or when you're focusing on your breathing, you label rising, falling of the breath. So it's just detached labeling of the present moment. And sometime during this retreat, I experienced some type of very profound shift in my consciousness where my mind was very noisy and tense and I was all stressed out, and then all of a sudden there was a big release and it was like and my mind was just quiet and still. And this felt amazing. I felt so relaxed and peaceful. And I was so excited to tell my teacher about this experience that I had during our next meeting. So as I was telling him about this experience, he listened to me. And after I was done telling him about how calm and peaceful I felt, he said to me, "Did you label it?" And I said, no, I forgot to label it, but I felt so calm and peaceful. And he's like, no. Did you label it? And I was like, no. He's like, okay, remember, regardless of what happens to you during your meditation practice, it doesn't matter. I don't care about the content of your experience while you're meditating. All I care about is that you are aware of what's happening and that you're mindful. So this has stuck with me throughout the rest of my meditation practice that I've been practicing for a couple years now, because now I'm not chasing after having a certain type of meditation experience. I'm just sitting and observing with relaxed awareness, and I'm not wanting my meditation to be any certain type of way. So this is a huge mistake for beginners to judge your meditation as being good or bad. So I was talking to my friend and she said, "I absolutely love meditating outside and I can't meditate in my room." And I was asking her why this is the case. And she said, "Well, when I'm outside, I feel so much more calm and relaxed, and my meditation always goes so much better than when I'm inside." And I was kind of laughing a little bit, and I explained to her that whether your meditation is feeling calm and relaxed or it's feeling really anxious and distracted, both of these are good meditations. The problem is that you have this cartoon caricature in your mind of what meditation should be. You have this idea that you should be sitting in the forest in the most serene environment and there's birds chirping and there's no background noise and your mind is still and it's super easy for you to focus on your breath and everything is calm and relaxed and you're sitting there smiling. This idea, it's a cartoon, it's fake. This isn't how meditation actually is. How meditation actually is however it is in the moment. So in reality, there's a lot of things that come up like fear, guilt, anger, pain. All of these things happen, and whatever is happening to you in the moment, that is how meditation should be. And that is good meditation. Anything that happens is good meditation. So whether you're distracted or itchy, or you can't focus, or you're bored, all of this is good meditation. So what I want you to do is to remove all should statements of how you think meditation should be. So if you think meditation should be calm, then I want you to remove that, because meditation shouldn't be calm. All of these should statements that you have, I want you to reverse them. So if you think to yourself, oh, I shouldn't be angry while I'm meditating, I want you to reverse it and say, actually, I should be angry while I'm meditating, because that's what's true. When you're meditating, sometimes you get angry, and that's just the way it is. So I shouldn't be thinking about sexual fantasies while I'm meditating. Reverse it. I should be thinking about sexual fantasies while I'm meditating, because if it's happening, then that's exactly what should be happening. I also want you to remove all favorite locations that you have while you're meditating. So whether you like to meditate at this park because it's quiet, or whether you hate to meditate in your house because, let's say, you live with your family and they're always arguing and noisy, I want you to remove that, and I want you to realize that anywhere that you meditate is fine. Maybe it might be a little easier for you to focus on your breath while you're at the park, but if it's difficult for you to focus on your breath while you're at home, that's okay too, because you can still observe how difficult it is for you to focus on your breath. And you can observe how your mind gets lost in, let's say you are overhearing the people you live with, you're overhearing them have conversations with each other. It's good for you to observe your mind getting lost in all of that. So remove all favorite locations. And I also want you to remove all gimmicks or rituals that you have or that you need for you to meditate. So a lot of beginners can get very lost in these rituals, like, oh, I need to be sitting on my cushion, or I need to have some sage lit in the room so that I can focus. I always meditate with sage. And although these gimmicks can sometimes be helpful for you to get in that meditative state, it's very, very important, especially as a beginner, for you to realize that you don't need all of these gimmicks. The only thing that matters is your awareness of the present moment. So whether there's sage or not sage burning, or whether you have your special cushion or you don't have your special cushion, or whether it's noisy outside, there's someone using a chainsaw cutting down a tree outside or not, you can still meditate if someone is cutting down a tree with a chainsaw. My meditation teacher told me a very profound story where while he was meditating in Thailand, well, actually, it's even better that I tell you my own personal story. When I was meditating in Thailand, there was a carpenter whose carpentry shop was literally 10 feet away from my cabin where I was meditating. So during the day, I'd be practicing my meditation, and this man would literally be sawing wood and building cabinets with hammers, loud noises. Sometimes it would scare the shit out of me while I was meditating. And that is all good meditation. That was a perfect place for me to meditate. I wouldn't have rather been in any other place, because these loud noises made it actually better for me to observe my mind getting lost and distracted. And what the hell is that sound? What is that? Is that a saw? So if I can meditate 10 feet away from a carpenter shop for days and days and days and days, then you shouldn't have any problem meditating if there's traffic outside or you hear other people talking in the background. Sometimes I would be meditating and there's always dogs in Thailand. There's a lot of stray dogs at the meditation center, and these dogs would have fights. So sometimes I'd be meditating and all of a sudden it would be quiet, and all of a sudden there would be a loud yelp, and all these dogs would start chasing each other and biting and snarling, and it would scare the ever-living crap out of me. It would be like 1 a.m. And I wasn't sitting there all angry, like, oh, these dogs are disrupting my meditation. No, I was just sitting there, calm, relaxed awareness, scared, labeling myself scared, angry, frustrated, and then continuing to focus on the breath. That's all that matters, is just remaining non-attached. Here is a list. We're going to go into a list of things that you may experience in your meditation practice. And it's important for you to realize that none of these things are good or bad. They just are what they are. So while you're meditating, you might feel body pain, twitches, anger, anxiety, restlessness, boredom, bliss, calm. So all of these things are not good or bad. They just are what they are. You may feel horniness. You may start to cry. You may have emotional releases. You might have visions of lights, flashing lights, or visions of and crazy stuff like geometric shapes or like moving images behind your eyelids. You may hear voices that aren't yours. You may fall asleep. If I had $1 for every single time I fell asleep while I was meditating, I'd have probably a couple $100. Sometimes I'd be doing walking meditation, very, very slow, methodical walking, extremely slow. And it would be so late at night that I would actually fall asleep while I was walking, and I'd fall to the floor and I wouldn't care. I'd be non-attached. I'd literally slowly get back up and continue walking and continue labeling. Because it doesn't matter what is happening while you're meditating. All that matters is that you're aware of what is happening. Other things that may happen is feeling of peace and relaxation. You might lose time, so you set your timer for 30 minutes and then 5 minutes later your timer goes off, and then what the heck happened to the rest of that 25 minutes? It's not good or bad, it just is what it is. You might have crazy monkey mind, distracted. You're meditating for 20 minutes and you can't even focus on your breath one time because the entire time you're distracted thinking about other things. That's good, that's okay, that's fine. You may have doubt. Meditation doesn't even work anyways. I'm going to quit. This meditation isn't working. That's normal. You're supposed to have that. You may have delusions of grandeur, like sitting there like, oh, I'm the best meditator ever. I'm so calm and focused. I am basically the Buddha. Or, oh my God, I'm Jesus Christ reincarnate because I'm so good at meditating. Pride, arrogance. And you may start sweating. All of these things, it's very, very important for you to understand. None of these are good or bad. They just are what they are. The ego judges things as good or bad. So you may not like sweating while you're meditating because it's very uncomfortable. You may not like it. But it's one thing to acknowledge that you don't like the way you're feeling, and it's another thing to say that the way that I'm feeling is bad. Because the actual sensation of sweating is not bad. It might be unpleasant, you might not like it, but it's not bad or good meditation. Or let's say you feel super, super relaxed and calm and able to focus on your breath. That's okay. You can feel relaxed, but that's not good that you feel relaxed. So it's one thing to say, oh, I like feeling relaxed, but it's another thing to say, feeling relaxed during meditation is good and proper and correct. That's the proper way to meditate. That's a huge, huge, huge trap that many, many beginners will continue falling into over and over again, and that's going to rob them of all of your meditation gains. So make sure that you do not judge your meditation as being good or bad. Meditate wherever you want. Meditate in your room. You can meditate at the park. You can meditate 10 feet away from a carpenter's shop. All of these places are equally fine. In fact, certain places that are like stereotypically less good for meditation, like at a party, sometimes these places are actually the best place to meditate, because all of this noise and crazy chaotic things going on, sometimes that's the best place to meditate, because that's like going to the gym and increasing the weight. You're making it harder for yourself. And that'll actually make you stronger and more grounded and more present and more detached. So that's all I got to say here. Here are some action steps that you can implement to start to implement what I'm saying here and actually get some benefits from what's being said in this video. So first thing you can do is remove any gimmicks or rituals that you have to do before you meditate. So let's say you always brush your teeth before you meditate, or you always shower before you meditate. Stop it. You don't have to do that. You can meditate whenever you want. Or let's say you always light this certain candle, or you always put on this certain music that makes you calm. No, don't do that. You can put music on if you want, but don't get attached to putting on that music, because now that's the opposite of meditation. The point of meditation is to remain detached from whatever is happening in the present. So if you don't like meditating without music, then you're doing it wrong. You should be detached. It doesn't matter if there's music or not. That's a big one. That's a really big one for beginners. Doesn't matter. The circumstances of your meditation do not matter. I know I've said this a million times, but it's a critical point that I want to drill into your mind, because this will make or break your meditation practice. So another action step is meditate in a noisy place. You can do that. And then the last action step is remain aware of your judgments of good and bad, and remain aware of yourself judging your meditation as either being good or bad. And don't tell me or tell your friends about how awesome your meditation was yesterday. That's such a beginner trap. Like, oh my God, I meditated yesterday and it flew by and I was so calm and peaceful and I was so relaxed and it was amazing. That's showing me that you don't really understand what meditation is about. Because some days I'll have the most calm, peaceful, relaxed, beautiful meditation, and that is just as important and just as good as those other days where I meditate for 60 minutes and fall asleep the entire time. So, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm very proud of you for taking your personal development and your meditation practice seriously, and that you're interested in learning more about meditation and about your mind and about spirituality and personal development. If you like this video, you can leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of these types of videos talking about meditation, certain pitfalls that a lot of beginners fall into while starting their meditation practice. And we're going to talk about a lot of mindsets that you need to have in order to have a successful journey in life and in spirituality. So thank you so much. I love you so much. And I'll see you in the next video.